Do you know what's page number? 123. Thank you. Middle scope, right? Ale dilesha harsa kibu dingi khadulesa sha. Kibu chungo chabara. Yes.
Oh, daddy. Danyibu kibu ring da tumuwe lamki rimbala lo chawala ni duge.
Yes, do.
Ni sje tarba ni ki lo kieba dang sje. Tarba duya lamki ran shi la pabas ni che.
Agil sabji ni yorbe.
Tambo di tunji ngola chitra jawa. Ani tunjam su chitra jawa. Tambo jongul chisu dati kangalur chikbayari.
Chikbayari.
Dati di shemago che. Dati ne nipa ngushi di sheshana.
Nipa ngushi di lasa. Okay. Page number 123, right? Middle scope mind training practice. Training the mind in the stages of the path shared with middle scope beings. And then the outline goes on developing the desire for the liberation. And Rinpoche mentioned the second outline, maybe it's just A, right? Now we need to look for the B. Where's the B? At the Maritisha. Okay, anyway, so Rinpoche said all these outlines are standard. We don't need to cover all. For instance, here it says preparation and stuff like that. We just go straight to the actual session. Preparation will be the same to the others.
Joradus duge dinal.
Jawadi dirisha. Alingwa ma de chikpajinya cheshos lan du dinalola.
Duge.
Ngwa de chikpajinya islan chesha.
Timishimindu. Ah.
Dimashimindu.
Oh, that is it.
It starts on page 125.
125? Yeah. Okay. Didu. Taharesha. Do chama chikpajinya matiyus.
Yeah.
Masim je thamje kyawa nimba na chi kom slide changma do de ma.
Di chilam ne de kare.
Dini niba dilaya khasa Koa rangshi gomba na koa le tewe yobe gyani.
Oh, that is it.
Koa le tewe de gomse.
Da nibang si le koa chi dunge sambas je. Susu dunge sambas ni.
Yes. Okay, now go to the page number 125. This is the nature of the samsara and the possibility of liberation. Now we're talking about the nature of the samsara. There are two things you need to meditate on. First, you need to meditate on the sufferings of the samsara in general, and then the sufferings of the samsara in specific. They are the two things need to be meditated on about the samsara.
Oh, that is it. That is it. Tambuchi, ani jiwo lamala gomshimbe nganes detarsamdes. Dagi miki chubungi chujime sungshindu, chushindu sung labe, ngaju dungele debe tenju kuma shik top jans. Tati lamgi lamri dalam te chebene ta chiwo lama komishindu lama tube umbur lama tube umbur tani rangi chiwo tube umbur rangi zawe lama imbala namba tunga toji chanchi tunga iti namba chi kumgugiyara rangi chiwo la kum di komishinbe ngane tini nyamne di kibu jingi lamla lo chang du rangi chu lama la kumshim be ngane sidu rangi chu lama la kumshim da lama la sidu lama da yere meje bel ha thwa sanje tube un but set up kumshim be ngane sinde tar samdis
Yes. So now look at the page number 126. Go to the contemplating the general sufferings of samsara. Yeah. So this is the root text. Rinpoche read from the root text. It says, meditate the guru deity seated upon your crown. Contemplate as follows, right? So guru deity, when you do this practice, particular this practice, the easy path, you always have to visualize your guru on your crown. And guru is actually appear as a Buddha Shakyamuni, in the form of Buddha Shakyamuni. So guru is, for instance, guru is taking on aspect of Buddha Shakyamuni. So you need to visualize your guru on top of your crown all the time. Okay, while you are meditating on that, while having that kind of visualization, that kind of awareness, so then you follow all the subsequent visualizations.
That lama ha commission began some look and just tanglers in a dagi mega jobung chudim shindu labes chudim la shindu labes that the carriers in a kibu chungupsu mega jobung chudin the shebery mega jobung chudin the shed kibu chungukasu nesusum gitung at the shebery then ane ngesunle doyagi ngesunle tariyagi tab ti migi chubung chudin sumbare jasata migi chubung chudim chuishindu sumbe ngendu dungele debe dendu gobashi topjan sidi ta kibu chungu kapsu ngendu migi chubung chudim la dene ngendu dungele tarbaris 타네 다 덴드 고반지 톱장세다 덴드 고반 톱장세니 동해 자원의 빵배 타바시 마톰나 데레 보고 깨지자미두스 다 덴드 고반지 톱네 아니 동해레 타르메브리 단다 땅예순그 동해레 타르 미구주bun구 추진송할 때는 예순그 동해레 타르체 대타네 아니 nelsungu tungele tane karese ngundu kube alhami kubara shitobarwa tingundu kuban tobaris tomna yang ane tunge zawane mabana ane ngundu taliya tunge pamache tu nyongkugi yarwa odi yesani ane tunge zawane mabambe 타바시 마톰나 대외국을 깨지자면도 다 참자래.
Yes.
기부 충분히 딩리야 두디야 참자고로 봐.
Okay, now the meditation goes on by properly learning the ethics of abandoning the 10 non-virtuous actions. I will attain, and so on, all the way down to I will not have even a moment of happiness, all the way down there. You need to read it down there. So then the visualization goes like this. It said, by properly learning the ethics of abandoning the 10 non-virtuous actions means prior to this practice, we already cover the practice that's pertaining to lower scope. In the lower scope, we learn and we realize that in order to free yourself from the lower realms or the lower rebirths, so you need to abandon causes and conditions for that. So then we realize the causes and conditions for that will be 10 non-virtuous actions. So when we abandon 10 non-virtuous actions, so that actually enables us to obtain higher rebirths. So that's why it says, properly learning the ethics or the abandoning the 10 non-virtuous actions, I will attain the highest state of happy rebirth. Okay. Happy rebirth, free from sufferings of the low realms. Okay. However, he says, so that practice enables us to achieve higher rebirth, but are we at this moment, even though we obtain higher rebirth, we are not free from all the sufferings yet. Every suffering, sort of like every suffering. That's why he said, if I don't obtain liberation, so in order to do that, in order to free yourself from the absolute sufferings, total suffering, so you have to obtain liberations. So then, for liberation, just being not born into lower realm is not enough. So we need more based on that practice, we need another practice to gain liberations. That's why I said, which abandons sufferings from the roots. So if you gain liberation, so then that liberation actually helps you to cut off the root of the samsara. So I will not have even a moment of happiness. If you don't do that, you will not have even though you are born as a human being or and somewhere in higher realm, but still you are subject to suffer again.
Ngarandu tanda ngedu tungele thani ani tendu kuban thobarba thobtiri ta ngedu tunga ti karre sene ngar jawangama ngamsu megi chubungu chudim sumbala teni ani ngedu le thani tendu tensan chu thobarba tendu tensan chu thomne ya ne dewa minduga ani 동네 밤마치도 용구도가 또 용구야 될 거라서네 따디 동네 뒤균이 제발 가려고서 아니 탈바치 토구도 동네 자원에 밤에 타바치 토구 뒤 마토바도 동네 균치야 매버됐던 거는 하고 그러바스.
So we can understand that through our own experiences. So we are born as a human being. So but right now, at this moment, we are free from lower realm existence or lower realm experience, but still we do have a lot of difficulties in our life as a human being, and also we have lots of sufferings. So that actually suggests that we are not totally free from sufferings.
다들이 다리 dendu dansa chitobare dendu dansa tobare direde di dendu dansa di 아니 첸딜이야 아니 미국 주bungu 추림도 순 추신도 순 마수나 아니 년둘이 기기야라 봐 제가 다리 아니 dendu dansa chitobare 아니 dendu dansa 텀내야 댄딜라 미국 주bungu 추림디 마수나 아니 라양에 순디 기기라 봐 디기기 요산에다 ngar dendu tensan dada dendu tensa thoba de migi chubung churi sumala teni ani dendu tensa thoba imbare danda ya da dendu tensa thomne ya ani khu dendu tensa dagara nebe nyeba ya mare ani migi chubung churi masuna la ya nge suntul hungurba yesane migi chubung chutimti dendu dansa karasugure ngesundu mesungwe chidu anadu den dagara ya miga jubungu chudente ta sungu yarba masuna dendu dansa tobare de nyeba ya mari yanti chipene ngesundu kiagi nyenga yarba oda tinsa ne den karasugure mebe jubungu chudente sungugure yesje da sungjuti kararesne kibu chungugap shebre lende shebimba lende kapsu ani le megewa le dilia ani le pechos le mangemba majeba mate jaba chumesa le ngebe chus le pechos da shishebimba odi insene dine 어디 쉐버바 제산 기부 중급수 렌데디 수신도 쉐버바 대해서 다 어디리 있다
So right now we are born as a human being. This is actually a result of your ethical practice or the practice of morality. So in the previous life, we have practiced, for instance, morality pertaining to abandoning 10 non-virtuous actions. We were able to abandon all these 10 non-virtuous actions through that practice, that kind of practice of morality, enable us to born as a human being right this moment. So if you don't do this practice, keep doing this practice, 10 non-virtuous actions, if you break one of those, so then that actually causes you to be born in a lower realm. So that's why even though we born as a human being, we need to practice abandoning 10 we need to abandon 10 non-virtuous actions. If you don't abandon them, so if you do one of those 10 non-virtuous actions, so that actually creates a karma to be born in a lower realm. So in the lower scope, the practice of lower scope pertaining to the lower scope, so we learn about karma. So karma is the one actually force us to be born in different places, different realms. So then also in the karma, we talked about the nature of the karmas. So karma, how they can be multiplied. All the karmas are very certain. So they're going to give you result regardless of the time or anything. So it's going to give a result if you create that karma. And also, so Chebachumiso means if you have done some kind of karma, so this karma is going to hunt you back in future. So there are four attributes, or the four the nature of our karmas. We talked about that, and then the only way to escape from lower realm is to practice morality. So morality here refers to 10 non-virtuous actions. So we have to have this practice, 10 abandoning 10 non-virtuous actions.
Oh, that didn't. That and Yasungi Tungele Tanaya, Dendru Desa Tobaredi, any Tunge Gunche, Gyumed. Tungegi Gyumed mecheban that not the yerba, not the that it petty tindere. Pena me na jinji dawaji ne serving ebala. Me na jindi dawaji ne pa serving ebaina. Nico ji di pardo nirishin sita di pardo. Taco niman dead ervata minna jindi serving evervata dawaji ne da serving everva that tinde mitele deve gogo yarbe sani yamarba da ni kune ani melam tele ya ji kange melam chi 다와지네 서빙에 뒤점바 밀음게 니게네가 수 대화 매버리 아니 니메콘레 세세 뒤에다 대화 매버봐 딱그 니 다와지네 서빙에 버티 드인 거봐 섬라 동에 봐도 매버야리 아니 뒤봐도 그 참잠 팀레자니 주버그 동라 류레나 주 땡기봐 다 마세바도 디야르바다 두베 numbaso 둥에 잡고 뇽알라 가시기 뭐 제제네 어다 딘딘네 수두가 가지기 뭐 제제네 소지 유베 dumba numba 메장 니마레다 다 미나지딜라 베 전승게 유바다 지다고 둥네 둥기야르바 담부 다 담부 때 딜레 뭐 진럽지체 다디마도로 지스 다지 냠바르지 제베이나 이니야 다코 대화야르베신 대화자네 미메리다 유베 마도네야 그 나지 제네 솔은 주주르바 디엔사 니마치글레 그 대화야 말바 어디나 시리스 제버리 서방에바 서방에베 미티다 Serba ngebe medile negab narjula yubala sobatu su dunga menaya. Tiba to kulo tewa yarbes in tewa yamarba. Tina shinganazu, dendru tensan tobare de, dendru tentelia, ni tewe kuga mebre is.
David Denti, somebody in the Shri Loksugora.
Oh,
Okay, now the next paragraph. This is illustration how we actually suffer. We are not free from sufferings yet. It says, I would be like a convicted criminal who is sentenced to be executed in a month, and who is in turn must endure daily the strong sufferings of such penalty as being beaten with a stick or dripped on with sealing wax. I don't know. Even if okay, so it comes from here. So it is like we are, right now we are as a prisoner. So we are sentenced to execute in a month or something like that. So we are in that situation. So if someone is going to execute in 1 month, all this period of time, whole month is suffering, becomes suffering, because there's no moment of happiness at that moment. He remembers, the individual that remembers about his penalty or the execution date, right? Dead. So he's going to die, like his death. Sort of, he remembers his death constantly, even though he goes to bed, even he eats, whatever he does, he always think about it. So remember that. So when he does that, so that means like that individual doesn't have any happiness or any sense of like a pleasure. Any moment becomes suffering. Similar like that, we as a human being. He says even an influential person were to abolish, right, the sufferings of the being beaten with the stick of. Okay, even though we as a human being, we do not have active, strong suffering at this moment. But when we think about it, so how we going to be born in next life? So if you think about it, we are going to die somehow. So then the karma is going to force us to be born in some different places. If we think about it, so then you will realize, even though we have obtained a human rebirth, this human rebirth is not happiness rebirth. Sort of like that happiness. This human rebirth is still a nature of suffering, subject to suffer. We're going to lose this human form, human body. So then we don't know what's going to be happening next. So when we think about it, so you don't feel like this human rebirth is a place for happiness. Yeah. So then he says, still the person such as a criminal still will not have even the slightest mental happiness. He says it's a mental happiness, right? Similar, we're going to die somehow. So this is like a prisoner is going to execute in a month, something like that, a certain time, right? So if it happens, so then for the sufferings as execution done closer and closer, yes, so we're going to die. So then when we die, so we don't know where we're going. So that you will not see any happiness on this life, on this human form.
Tatine tungedile tiaris, tatine tungedile anitiari, chi tungedile truiari, chi tungedile tru, tat tunge pama chetu yagi, chi tungedile truiari, truti nieba mebe tunges chigde. Nieba mebe tunges chiche, tene ngomba mebe tunges diri, ngomba mebe tunges che. Ani lu yane yanto torve tunges che. Ani yayang nizam chave tunges che. Ani 가르치고래. 야야 토멘토 기루에 둥에스제. 로메베 둥에스제 다디
So when we talk about sufferings in general, there are 6 types of sufferings we need to contemplate in general. So the first one is Nyeba Meba means the sufferings of samsaric existence is uncertainty. Okay? And Ngomba Meba means unsatisfactory. The samsaric existence is unsatisfactory. And then the Yang Karsa Yang Torah means abandoning 5 aggregates or the form or the body, changing our body constantly over again and again. Yang means over again and again. Okay, Ninsam Jara means taking rebirth over again and again. Okay, over again and again. Ninsam Jara actually means the moment when we conceive in different form, different realm, sort of like Ninsam Jara means that moment. We're talking about that moment. Okay, so more like death, I think. I don't know. And then the tome means constantly changing our status. Sometimes it's up, sometimes goes down. Okay, up and down. So, and the Togmeba means the lack of samsara nature is lack of the samsara nature is friendless, sort of friendless, lack of the proper companion or the positive companion.
Tatine Nyeba Mebe Tungesia de Caressa Daniela Pem Nyeba Meba Sigare. A tadi nyele jur, nye tali jur. Ngarandu, ta nye de tali jur, drudu tamba, tunge jarba. Tadi nyele jur yunde, ani chigi, nyeba meba se, di tanyele pem, nyeba meba sa. Tande nye di, ani nye kura cheni degi marba, ma debe che. Keja she yani chigi thala jurguyari, pesha gutunda letene thala jurguyari. Ani chi keja chig tume chi letene thala jurguyari. Didu ya kange mambuchi tegi yarba. Tadi ya nyale chuguriyari. Oti yesani tada nyale nyeba meba. Di tada resi jeni 타지도 다송이야 말이스. nye res jene 타지도 nye 레뱅에 봐야 말이스. nyema tambula nyema 징이지 nye를 붙이제. 아니 nyema 숨바들레 잘 주두게 야 로라 때니 tin데 주두게 다 간제 다니엘 밤 nyeba 메바스티 근데 둥에리 되게 간가 둥에를 봐.
So then look at the first sufferings of the samsara in general. First one is called the uncertainty. Samsara is uncertainty. Samsara is uncertainty means uncertainty of friends and enemy, something like that. For instance, something like that. That means when we interact with human beings or the sentient beings, sometimes they become your friends, sometimes they become your enemy. So we don't have a permanent friends, something we can rely on, something we can put our trust on. And then the enemies, so some enemies is also changes. So that means, so the first day you might be a friend with somebody, and the second day you may become this friend may become your enemy, and the third day that same individual can become your friend. So that's why it said the samsara, nature of samsara is uncertainty. Uncertainty means when we go through that kind of process, that kind of changes, so every time when we change from one to the another, so we suffer. So when our enemy, our friend becomes our enemy, when you begin to become enemy, right? Enemy. So then you suffer, right? You suffer. So when they become one enemy becomes your friends, based on that you suffer another things. So you suffer. So that's why this momentarily changing nature of the samsara actually causes a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. That's what we call the samsara nature is uncertainty.
Tate jebe mingum seti, ngomba meba seti, kaze chi chune ngomba meba. Yang ngomba meba tele teni yang tunge mambu chungu yare. Ngomba mebe tunge seti karasine. Segu neme kande chi ne chi sambu chi chung suna sambu ti ngomba meba che. Tele sanglaraba che samlo stang. Ni kari ne chi sambu kanze chi chune ya sambu tale ta meba che, ngomba meba che. Ten di su samsara chi meba che. Di su samsara chi meba yansani tile teni ya bezurab chi che. Sambu ti besharab chi na, chi jujalarab chi na, pyusum tsoba juyewa ina, pyusum tsoba di ya gongbe tu taya ki che tu ya bezun che. Bezu chebala teni tunge mampuchi teyungwe jebe mingum tunge kunju gosi tu jebe mingum bati tunge tamje gore esigere. Ni kola teni so shoya yarba. Ta chi no longju yabu chi yene ya di mandibache di ya je tunya ki che tu tabzu mampuche. Tabzu mampuche bala teni ani kange mampu tegi yarba. 아니 타르지 소 쇼고 여러분들 연구해봐. 제배 명 동해 군지 고세지. 어때때 제배 명음세지 나도 쇼지 임bre.
So then the second suffering is called unsatisfactory. So the more we enjoy samsaric pleasure, so the more we yearn for it, or the more we wish to obtain this samsaric pleasures, the samsaric pleasure. That means there are some pleasure we consider as in happiness in this samsaric realm. So when we obtain them, so we always wanted to have more and more. So that's what that wish actually causes pain or problems in our life. So that's why it says samsara and samsara nature is unsatisfactory. You are never satisfied with samsaric pleasure. So in the text called Guru Devotion, Lama Chepa, and in that text also said that Chebe Mingon means the more you enjoy it, you will never satisfy. By enjoying it, enjoying this kind of samsaric pleasure will never satisfy. Means so enjoying all this samsara will never satisfy you. Instead, it becomes the root of your sufferings. In the text, it said that. So that's why the more we consume, the more we enjoy this samsaric pleasure. So we will never satisfy with that. If we have something, so we always looking for more.
다티네 아니 토멜을 never 매봤어요. 토마토를 매봤어요. 들이 토멜을 never 매봤어요. 아니 류 아버지 톱뒤네 류디 제국이야래. 겨와 상부지 톱뒤네 겨와디 제국이야래. 깨베 타마 치와스 사베 타마 세바스 네 테베 타마 제와스 네 톰베 타마 송아스 아니 다시 뒤제기 다시 쓰야지 근데 깨베 타마 지야께서도 시주 다 치버려봤다 깨베 타마 치워봐 사베 타마 세버리 사사사 타마데 세주를 봐 롱주에 세주기를 라 세주기를 봐. 그 근데 뒤뒤양 강에 지체게 알아 봐. 사베타마 세바스지. 체베타마 제와스. Nyerabajine, Karine, Jig Chain to Jamba, Tama Jagurba. Papu Jamba Jabine, Rangi, Nyela Sobate, Pamata, Sobatusu, Nani, Tar Jagurba. Ya, G. Ani Chebe Tamati, Jaya did is Java. Ani Tombu Tama Suas. Ran Chi Bomburavachi, Bombu Kosarabo Gandage, Junsune, Tar Tunguruba. Tar Tunguri. Ani Nilhunda de Mambutuga, Tomburavachi, Dog Kosarabji, Kosati. Malundu Zamba Mambutuga, Gashe Sambuchan Lungre, Tarate Mingjamri, Mishoji, Yamar, Meverba, and it Tombu Tama Sua said the Tart and Sua said, Ya to Sukan and Chegierba.
Just Lu Yani Yang to Torwa this shit.
Did we?
Oh.
Tambu did we?
Lu Yani Yang to Torwa.
Ah, yeah. Luyane and to us, I'm going to lose some which top dinner. Maradu Kyongamala Chambagi Lu Toby cigarette. Sai Lu Top Diary. Lu Sambo Badum of Tobiarity, and it that Lu Sambo Diamaro. Ne Luyane into Torwas. And Tarat Ani Luke and the Chilani Tar Sambut Dolne Ani Lungemba in your don't you didn't Lingiarba, but the instant Luyane and the Torwas.
Tashi the Karza?
Ah,
Karitashi is like
Tashi did cannot
Karita did Karza Kandisler Tashi lad.
Yaya tomato give us.
Did this mark Tashi the Chicksons at a Mingdi
Ah,
Karitashi
Tama.
Did the Remar Karitashi is a Tashi.
Dijig touch.
Do you get Tashi? Let's do you get Tashi? Okay, so now third one is
Nearly got it.
Langel dish Lu Yang Yang to Torwas.
Oh, tell you a name.
Yes. So then the third one is abandoning your body over again and again, right? Constantly, again and again. So then Rinpoche began to explain there are Dujig Tashi method. There are four extremes of Dujig. Du means meeting, okay, meeting each other. J means being separate. Okay, there are four extremes of meeting and separation, sort of like that. Okay, so he said that then. Dillerwe. Ali andi tanda la khaja. Ani tomato yuadinga lasha. Tomato yuad. Okay, so actually Rinpoche moved down to this the second last suffering. Okay, so tomato yurwa means the uncertainty of status, something like that. So that means like sometimes you are in like a high position and falls down to the lower position and stuff like that, right? So the uncertainty of the status. So there are actually four extremes meeting and separation. So first one is called the birth and death. Okay, so birth and death means like a birth is the birth. Our birth. Taking birth, like a birth becomes the ultimate causes of our death. Okay, so when we take a birth, so that actually comes with death. Okay, death and the birth and death, one extreme. And then the teba means meeting. Teba the Dewa means meeting with friends. Okay, friends. So that meeting by that very nature actually becomes the causes of our separation. So by when you meet with somebody, so then eventually it's going to be separate. This is one of the extreme. And then the Sakpa Tamaseva. Sakpa Tamaseva means, Sakpa means acquiring or the accumulation, okay? And then the accumulation is the nature of the deterioration. Is this right? Okay, deterioration. So when you collect things, right, eventually this collection of your material, whatever it could be, going to be disappear. This is going to be exhaust. This is one extreme, one nature. Yeah. So then tome means high status and the lower status. So the going up is actually becomes the nature of our falling down. Yeah. So when we have high status, so high status, whether sometimes you forcefully need to fall down, sometimes, so the nature actually forces you to fall down. So you will lose that kind of status, that kind of identity or the name or fame, whatever. So then when we go back to the Lu Yang Yang Torah. Lu Yang Yang Torah means abandoning your body over again and again, right? So that means, it said that we have been born as the king of God. For instance, like I think Gyejing. Let me see, Gyejing or Changpa. Changpa is Brahma. So we have born as Brahma many times. So this considered as the most kind of the beautiful or the best and the nicest form you can achieve in the samsara. So we have obtained that form many times. So right now we have obtained the human rebirth, human body. So then the abandoning your body over and again, even though we have obtained that kind of high status, we had to abandon them. So then in this moment we have this body, human body, so eventually we're going to abandon that. And the second moment, maybe we end up having the worst body in this samsara existence. For instance, the hell realms body. So that's why it says we are abandoning this body constantly, over again and again.
Tene yang nizam chawa se di ta lu yan the toru lu toni ani deta mari te lu toru me lu toni kewachima lingu mene ani tagyara bachida di 지금 류양에 돈에 야양인 좀 잡았어. 류가마 돈에 야 치마 겨와 치마질 인좀 전에 야 겨와 겨와질 구구야 봐. 뒤에서는 야양인 좀 잡았어니. 이 아니 류상부디 돌아 잠기 아니 매버리기 매버리서니 라양인 좀 지자고 야 라양인 좀 자인도 좀 봐야 동네 가르수 그래 동네기 동네들 집에 겨와대 다 코알이 겨울내서는 아니 동네들 동네기랑 신기 겨와질린 게 알아봤다 간제 제사 야얌 인점 자와 제 동네시기
So then next one so next one is the sufferings of taking over again and again. Next life, I will say the connecting to next life, something like that. In Samsara means, the connecting to next life. Okay, so that means when we abandon this human form, any form in this samsara existence, so we are not done at that moment. When we abandon one form from a realm, so we are not done. So that's why. So we are going to pick another form, another. We're going to be born in another realm, and when we born into another realm, so we takes on another form. So that's why it says. So that's why it says connecting to the next life or the another life over again and again. So when we go through this process, when we pick up another form in a samsara existence, so that form also comes with all lots of sufferings. So that's why we suffer. So constantly we suffer. When we abandon one form, we are not done. So if that's the case, that's fine. So we can abandon, even though if we have a good body or the bad body, when we abandon them, so when we're done with that, so that's good. So this is not the case. So we're going to pick another form. So when we do that, we suffer again. That's why it says we pick another form over again and again.
다라니 지부 조메베 니바스다 조메베 니바스야디 나라키드 라니 지부 게윙버리 아멘게니 게윙데 라지부 게버리 바도 나자소 류 나자소 뇽디치네 라지부 뇽구기야 나자디 샬로 코데 고시게 메버리 담부기드에 라지부게 바도 둥엘레 소바투스 동해 용화 디스네 동해 파 신달에 고시겸니 대게 매버리 랑기 용구야 쳐서 봐도 동해 용화 디스네야 라지부 용구 타르치와 디스네야 라지 루지인버리 쳐서 드메바스디
So then the last one is in the samsara we are friendless. That means when we came to this world, when we born in a realm, so we born ourselves, you alone, no one going to actually help, right? No one. When we go through this kind of process and the birth, so we go through a certain type of sufferings. So that suffering cannot be shared with anyone else except yourself, right? So then when we are ill, when we are sick, so then that pain, no one's going to be shared with you. No one will able to share with you, and you cannot actually share with another one. So you need to suffer by yourself all the way. And then when we die, we need to die by ourselves. No one's going to actually share with you, and no one actually comes able to come with you when you are going through the death process. So that's why it says samsara is a friendless. We are friendless in samsara.
this jisanta kuaji tung true se aditiri. Ta tusu kariche ta tusu samne ta tunge dile tabe tabde kariche sene ta Gyawatubya diri Gyawatubne ani tati unzuti nan kibu chungu ina ta tande dige tunge tu shebare tunge tu ti sheni tunge ti ta tu ti she indu tunge ki tisu tunge tu ti sampe kone ta gariche gure yasena ani tunge tile tabe tabla begu yare tabe tabla beya tile tini lam lava sum seachi yare lava chutim ki lava tingji lava shiraku lava seachi sum yare wata dusul log ta kanje lava chutim ki lava seati ta kibu chungu ko shebagi
Dingrebe. Dingrebe. Kibu dingrebe.
De
Los.
kibu dingrebe. Tam lava chuting lava seati kibu chungu ko shesunga. Migu chubungu chudim shea to suri. Ta to su chudim yabu migu chubungu chudim yabu sum chudim lo yaru to sim bari. Ta kanje ta tige de samne kwe dunge dubu de samne kariche gure esene dile tarbe tabla yam begu gibari ta inyati ande dagara le de yena dunge di gyunche mebarwa ta di karere esene ani tabatujige tabla begu gibari.
So this is how we contemplate on sufferings of samsara in general. So these sufferings, these 6 types of sufferings are provided or expanded entire 6 realms. So that's why we need to meditate on or contemplate on the sufferings of the samsara in general. General means like it covers entire 6 realms, some entire samsara. So then when we contemplate or meditate on this type of sufferings, this type of meditation or the sufferings about suffering, so we are not just meditating on them, thinking about the sufferings of the samsara. We are not just doing it and just leaving it here. So then when we realize this samsara is filled with all types of sufferings, so then we need to look for a solution, and we need to look for a method how we can actually eliminate that, how we can actually free from that types of sufferings. So when we do that, so then we found a method. A method is called 3 trainings. Yes, they call three trainings. So trainings of morality, trainings of meditation, trainings of wisdom. Okay, these are the 3 trainings. So for instance, the first one, the training of morality, we already have learned that into the section of this small scope. So in the small scope, we talked about how we abandon 10 non-virtuous actions, so how important it needs to be, how important that's to be abandoned 10 non-virtuous action, and what result you can get out of that kind of 10 non-virtuous action, abandoning 10 non-virtuous actions. So then this we have learned that from that section, the middle, the practice they share with the small scope.
Oh, that is 당한주 조디 아니 미국 주본고 주름데 조르 지레 시대르브디 대숨기나니 시대르브디 알라바 주둥기라버디 시대르브지제 나랑주기 냠내체도 조디다 미국 주본고 주름데 소주 보야 마진발레메 보야 로임 보야 네 진 타마 치주 나게스 보야 아니 나심 로다 세디스 보야 다티 조디 미기 주분 그 주림세야 드림 다 강게 라바 땡지 라바다 라바 주림 라바 용라 아니 미기 주분 그 주림도 조임 버리 땅인지 나두 라레타야디 미기 주분 그 주림 디셔송아 디게 렌데 디셔송아 렌데디 아니 레기 교화 충무지네 줍근도 디바 충무지네 방크도 제야됐다 조딩버리.
So among these 3 trainings, the first one is called training of morality. So training of morality becomes the most important part of your practice, and that also becomes the foundation of your practice. So the morality here, again, practice of morality refers to abandoning 10 non-virtuous actions. We have learned that from this small scope, and the training of the small scope. And then in terms of that, we also learn about how karma operates, how karma actually works. Then in the karma section, we talked about even if you feel or you seemingly it's kind of like the slightest act or the small act of virtues, we should not ignore, we should not neglect them. We need to put effort to do that, even though this seemingly it's like a small virtuous actions, we should not neglect at all. And sometimes we feel like when we do like a negative actions, we feel like, oh, this is just a minor, it's not gonna affect, so we just do it. We just do all these negative actions. We committed that kind of negative actions, and that teaching is taught us that we should not, we should not do. Even you think that is like the minor or small kind of negative actions. We need to abandon from that even that kind of negative actions, even that is small. This is how we learn from the karma section. So karma section actually teaches us how we accumulate virtuous karma and how we abandon negative karmas in that way. You should not neglect even this like small virtuous act. We should not commit it even this is like the smallest kind of negative actions. We learned that. So based on that practice, so then we can develop practice of meditation and practice of wisdom. Without having that basis, so we cannot actually achieve we cannot practice or we cannot achieve realization or practice of meditation or practice of wisdom.
산적이 디버지암이 자시 겨워프숨 초바 제스 랑기 셈니 용수도 디니 산게 템바인 산적이 템바스니 디버미지야다 겨워주버디 디버지암이 자시 겨워프숨 초바 제버디 산적이 템바스기 야리 제버리.
So, and also Buddha said that my teaching is Digbachia Michashi. Digbachia Michashi will never commit any type of negative actions. Okay, Digbachia Michashi, any type of, whether it's big or small, any type of negative actions, abandon any type of negative actions. Gyawa Pizun Soboju. Gyawa Pizun Soboju means accumulate merits, any type of merits. Okay, regardless of big or small, right? And Rangistem means through that kind of practice, then I will attempt or I will subdue my negative mind. So this is my practice. This is my teachings. He said that.
Then Migi Jubungu Chudim Sung said the Karesina Soju Le Sung said the Soju Pung Chudim Sung said the Soju Meji somebody any Soju Bala ne much but so major somebody ti somebody namgyu somebody ni soju bume chudim sung seadire sung seadi ani soju begin the tesuna ani titu jamba so major vejene solu dan seadusu 제국을 베세네 티그 구기야 말이 남주 소미주 삼바디 녜 마시버도 소미주 삼바디나 아니 소주 보면 추dim 숭식이야리 숭세야디 아니 양갱에 바지래 지 태윤도 잠바디 동네 제버디 숭식이야라 봐 남주디 켈렘바디래 아니 소주 보면 추dim 숭세야디 네 마시버도 소미주 삼바 제베인 다 소주 보면 추dim 숭바리 네 마시버도 아니 마지바 링게 메야 삼바르지 네 마시버도 로임 지금 메야 삼바르 어두스 제베테니 네 소주 보면 추dim 마짐발렘베 추dim 아니 로힘 보면 추dim 시기야리 딜레 추dim 시기야.
So then the practice of morality. So how we define practice of morality. For instance, killing, right? Killing. Just not killing is not actually practice of the morality. Restraining, so practice of morality means restraining from the negative actions. Yeah. So then in order to do that, in order to have that kind of morality, practice of morality, you have to make a promise. You have to intentionally, you need to think, I'm not going to kill until I die. You can make a certain time until I die. If you said that, so that becomes, that promise or that commitment becomes your practice of morality. Yeah. So and sometimes we think practice of morality should be done releasing some animal's life. Yeah. So that is not necessary. So that is not, but that not necessary means that is not how we actually define the practice of morality. Practice of morality needs to be like active kind of mentally, the commitment. Yeah, commitment. So then that means you need to make a promise that I'm, in certain period of time, I'm not going to do any negative actions. For instance, killing. I'm not going to kill until I die. If you said that, so that intention becomes practice of morality. So then if you have that intention all the time with you, not killing, restraining from killing any sentient beings, so then you will not engage into that kind of negative actions. But not just by not killing or not doing any negative action is not totally the pure kind of practice of morality. We don't kill all the time, but if you don't take this promise, so then you will not, if you don't make that kind of commitments, but that is not a practice of morality.
어떻게 너네다 안주 개와 두세야지 심절에는 지금에 삼바르브체는다 수tum식이야리 심절에는 안중에 지 마시버도 심절에는 지금에 삼바르브체베이나 니디들 너치 지야디 단디디게리 소주도 심절에는 바지게야리 마진엔도 심절에는 바지게야리 로임지도 심절에는 바지게야리 주마도 심절에는 바지게야리 다 간제 네 다리기 내가서 심절에는 지금에 삼바르브체베이나 니 수dim식이야리 니 디디디 디바뿐 세야디 디용으리 개와투 세야디 디용아리 어디에서는 문제 디분기도 세야디 제야디 하고 버리지 지구야리 심절에는 지금에 세도 디바뿐아리 심절에는 뻔봐 아니 개와투 버리 어디에서 문제 미그 주분 그 수dim세야디 어디 수dim세는 디리다 미그 주분 그 수dim세야디 돈바랍지 소다 돈바시냐 딘데 말하는 디기야리 내 심절에는 지금 메시는 미그 주분 그 수dim디 인베리 디나라 심절 미기와 주부 강글로 심절은 지기 지역이 견자리 어디 뒤에서 이제 교화세야디 두단디 근제에서는 심절은 지금 시제바이나 교화 두버리 아니 심절은 빵바리 미기와 빵바르바 어디에서 나다 기부 중급수 어디 재산에 람라바 숨기나네 라바 추딩기 라바도 쭈디 시에버리 뒤에산에 디 미그 주분 추딩도 쭈 숨버봐 다디리 교학이 시대에부터 디리.
So then let's say when we make a commitment restraining from harming sentient beings, right? We take that kind of commitment easily. We have that kind of intent not to harm sentient beings. We have taken that kind of vows not to harm any sentient beings. Right? When you said that, so then that means you are not supposed to commit any type of non-virtuous actions. 10 non-virtuous actions. Talking about 10 non-virtuous actions. Yeah. So if you look at the nature of the 10 non-virtuous actions, so all of these actions tend to harm sentient beings. When you said when you make a promise or commitment not to harm sentient beings, that means you are also taking a vow not to commit any 10 non-virtuous actions, because all of these actions tend to harm sentient beings. Yeah. So and then the anyway, so then so this practice how we restrain from 10 non-virtuous actions and negative actions, we have actually covered that subject or that practice into the lower scope practice, lower scope training in lower scope, right? So then we say the training of lower scope mainly covers the practice of morality. Okay, morality. Now I remember. Yeah, morality. So in this practice, it talks about karma. How karma can affect us. If you create negative karma, how that can affect you, and stuff like that. So mainly covers the practice of morality in small scope. Yeah. So then when we say taking a vows, so then vows, you can take a vows and you can also have a very pure vows. Like, so let's say if you say if you say you are not going to harm any sentient being, refraining from harming sentient beings, if you said that, so then if you keep that purely, that morality or that the ethical practice or the vows or commitment, whatever you call commitment, is very similar to the ordained vows. Yeah. So then, in order to keep pure vows or the pure vows or the commitment, you don't have to have ordained vows. As a lay person, you can have a pure vows, and very similar to the ordained vows.
That in a Taranji Gange to Suyaro, Gange to Sui, and the Tungetic Sheberva, that Tungetu straight up the Jampa Gomba, Niji Gomba, Jampa Gomba, Tusuta, and Gongugari. That the Ane Gange to Sute in the Jamba Karachigo and a Gange to stay in Gurba, Tay in the Jamba, Jajugisim Gisim Jekwane, Gangalam to Guriati Jeguyare. Gange Jiran Gange Tesun, Simje Tamjeg, Gange di Nedi Go Chubasho, Simje la Dinda Gange Minjua Show, Simje Shenla, or Dindiga Samlu Tambayina. Ko Gange to Sukanga, Chajuga Simki Yamleli Kertubre. Tangu or this year, but just I'm to Gange to get Yungi, the Gange to Su. Samlu Tambayina, Gange to society, Jampa the Injita Janju, similar super to Sukumguiare. At the Dima say, any Gange Kadu to tell you the Jamba Gange to Rangi Gange di Jugot Masambache, Shengi Gange Sam, Rana Gange Yubanachi, Tindechi, Simje Shana Junia Gange Mampu Yunguiarva. Tindegi Mand Tebe Gange Din Nashi, Simje. But Mebala Gange di Chegiari some to Sula Neg di Gange di Simjet to Suga Gange di Minjuan show. Samluta, Ya Gange Minjuan show Simalam di Cap Ya Gange di Rangi Gange to the Chule and the Rang Gange di Shadum Raviche or to Steny Chevena. 아니 다 강에도 세대브데 강에도 수기 조지기야리 삼단시는 강에도 수 체인도 강에도 수고 조지는 란슈 캡삼만 부르기야리.
So when we take a commitment not to harm sentient beings, restraining from harming sentient beings, so that commitment or that practice not only helps other sentient beings, that also helps yourself. It means like when we encounter with sufferings or difficulties, all this situation, so if you have that intent not to harm sentient beings, that very intention can actually help you from your own suffering. For instance, when we encounter with that kind of situation, there's many different ways to deal with that kind of practices. All of these practices mainly practice there's something benefiting to others. Sort of like, for instance, you can meditate on love and compassion. You can think about if you are sick, if you are going through difficulties, you can think of like there are many sentient beings. There are sufferings, so then I'm not the only persons in this world and having this kind of problems. You can think of other, and then when you think about them, so then you can wish them to free from that types of suffering, because you know how bad that is. Right? You have realized that, so you can have empathy, sort of like you can feel like others' pain, other sentient beings' pain, wish them to free from that types of suffering. So if you do that, that intention, that thinking process, that kind of meditation actually helps your own suffering. So that actually reduces the pain or reduces your own suffering. So then if you say love and compassion, so then you can, when you are enjoying, so when you are having, so then you can think about other sentient beings. You are having a good meal and stuff like that. You can think of other sentient beings. There are many other sentient beings lack of that kind of opportunity. Wish them to have that kind of opportunity. Wish them to have a good meal, sort of like that. So then if you think that this is, you think in that way, practice of love and compassion, mainly how we deal with practice of compassion, love and compassion, well, mainly we use this kind of practice to deal with our own problems. We can use it for our own problems. So it's thinking about others and willing to give to others and so on. Yes.
Tene draw me benyeba se kitu juboki padu tungen nyundu ran jubogunyo tamachi de ran jibu duguduga tati draw ngone ti gewati imbare ran le draw ngone ti ran de nimbo yone ran le ni digi tenye di karere seneta gewati imbare chudi gewatubiyati rangi draw de dire shin draw shengi draw meba sayatire kitu rajibo ke sayati roba chichen roba nimbo ke yamari nadu roba ji nazat pa ko shikemni ke yamari chitu nimbo jini rajibu chiguri 어디 디다 저데 저데 가르레스는 저디다 겨와디래 랑기 추르비야 겨와디 제수나 겨와디기 아니 라고바치니 겨와디 응구야래 랑 디지테니디니 겨와디 제응구리 랑 로바치니디다 겨와디 로바치기야래 현다기 지탱기 도기 라 동해레 교비하기 우로디 제투기 민두가 다티디 겨와들이 제사 조메바시아디 다 조디 근데 주고 또 쓰는다 겨와두고예 지탱기 도시니디 기두야 말이 나두야 말이 지탱기 도디기 기두 이 로바치야 말이 나두 동네 갈래니 로바치야 메버리 치두 냠도 치는 로바치야 말바 다디 그랬으니 안주이 도디다 겨와디
So the one of the general suffering of samsara is not having reliable friends, right? So if you have stock of virtues or the practices, so this your practices and your virtues becomes the best friend in the samsara existence. And then this friends is most reliable, and that will come into handy, or they will help you when you need them. So when you suffer, so then if you have a knowledge, if you have a training, and that actually helps you. And then if you have virtue, so that always helps you. So then this you can consider that would be your best friend. So here is said in the samsara we are friendless, or we are being alone, or no one actually help when we need them. That means like we cannot relying on samsaric friends. Yeah, samsaric friends cannot actually help you when you need them. So when you born, they cannot help you. When you suffer, when you're sick, they cannot help you. Or when you die, they cannot help you. Samsaric friend. Yeah. So, but the other ones like your knowledge, your training, and your virtues, so that will help you when you are born, when you are sick, and when you are dying. So that's why I say this is the most reliable friend, and then so this helps you in any any cause in any moment.
Oh yeah. Oh, daddy, 그들에서.
Only 주도 가면
아,
주도 가면 이슈시. 죽지도 가면 이슈. 주 차가스도. 저거 나라가.
어리 더 저것도.
Any questions? No questions. Wow.
Could Rinpoche talk a little bit more about when you take a vow of morality, how that protects you more than just simply not doing it?
Okay. 답변은 디스고래. 단도디 돈바세디 수수기 로타 지역을 된데 지는 돈바 소 미저 삼바지 고레스 라로와.
어리.
디 요와 디 수수기 돈바 렘바 직체로와. 돈바 렘바도 돈바 말렘바 바루라야. pen 소주에로 스페셜샤나. 돈바 렘바도 돈바 렘바 말렘바게 바루라야. 콜라야 속 마지와라야 돈바라야. 간데스 야가요레스 워. Pechina so majuni de dene digo roasi.
어리. so 맞네 때때는 디 자 so 맞네. so 맞네 때때 얘기도 스카게 so 맞네 때때.
나 so majin de dene 가르쳤어.
so 저기야 말이야.
아니
교케야 말이.
안래. So Rinpoche was saying like if you haven't taken any vows not to kill, sort of like kill, right? Killing. So then it doesn't mean right now if we haven't taken any vows for that, so we are not actually practicing a practice of morality not to kill. We don't have that kind of morality.
so 맞게 때때기 야리티 쿨 교케
더더 신경 좀 내려.
어디 제산 뜻이기. 아니 소 맞제버티 야리시티 소 맞제버티 야리티 코소 맞제베 교와 유야게 말이스.
So I'm just saying just not killing is not a practice of morality. Rinpoche is pointing all over. That means like Rinpoche is pointing tables and pillars and stuff like that. They're not killing, but we don't say they have practice of morality.
다 가르르스네. 다 수수 셈게 domkugu yarwa. 다 dom바세야디 지다 전주 셈베 dom바생이디 나주 튠루나리바 라마게와 세자는 달고콤바제도 지당문지디 전주투니 게바데 전주 셈벨 대다림 지내바 다자 돌로펜 전주 림바신들라베 기세야 주바 어디 전주 셈베 dom바디 수수 땡그 준들 삼로 단에 두시잖니 딘데니 련숨 되네 전주 셈베 dom발렘 바레 전주 셈베 dom발렘도 잠바지 땡기 좀 차숨 챘네 디제네 디그리 되네 수수 대되네 딘숨 되네 아니 땡기 중래야 디숨 되는지 덴베 미바체 디 제베네 전주 셈베 dom발렘 바레 전주 셈베 dom발렘 발라지 그래서 그래 이게 주름 주딘 렘발라 지 초그라지 초가스 스르베다 남기 돈반낭세야디 지아르바 딘데 마제네 돈바샤제 투베 둔두 아니 네더리네 중디 아니 마시제버도 소주기 미기 주bungu 추림디 추신도 숨기 소주 bun기 아니 메장바주 bun기 마진렘 bun기 삼바르 제니 담자르 제수나 아니 디 추림디기 야리스
뭐랑이 티와디 디르다.
아니
수dim domba lemba domba malemba ni
제산 뜻이기 야리 domba 렘바
domba lemba domba malemba ni ora domba lemba dilaya sojualaya so majua ya pendo chewa kades yore lawor
domba lembatile
lambal de
chasa gyawadi domba majebeche dene dusu majebeche dedi yaris ni kol gyoge yamaris
so majua la keba kari yore sigorda so majua
majule gyawari
pena so domba lenge jora so majua domba lenge de domba malenge ni yora domba lenge de la so majua la pendo kades sigre lawor
domba linyete so majubele pendo gari
민니가 소 지고 말다. 지기 돈발 내요다. 지기 돈발 내도 잠발로 콜로 소마주야 펜도 가르치예요. 레로고. 소마주가 제발라.
gyawasene so majube chibarwa gyawadi dobchiju chero gyawa yumed chugera
So then taking vows, I remember said it is just
chibare kunyiga
지거와 말 코는 디서 근데 돈바지 렘바 이나라와 돈발 렘바는 콜로 소마주야
so majube chibarwa domba lemba tang domba malimba nibuti so majube chibare
그래서 소마 돈발
so
렘게
majugi chile so jugi so majube gyawa yunguyarwa
찔리 요레스
chile yunguyamarwa
요레스 라오라 그래서 소 돈발 렘게 딜이야 소마주발 펜 가르 도그래서 소마주바 제발 펜 가르 도그래서 이거 펜토에 치에 가르 요레스 이거
so majube jebala penkari tugure
펜에
Dirile, kurante dita.
dire that is
dida
당연 담보디 랜드 적은 당연 so then what's said so then yes so the morality practice of morality is intention. So if you intend not to harm sentient beings, if you make that commitment for a certain time, I will say I will not going to kill any sentient beings. So that becomes practice of morality. You have the commitment, so on. So then you are practicing morality. Yeah, this is one thing. So then there are some practices and some vows. It needs a formal kind of ceremony to take that kind of vows, right? And also there are some vows you can just take it from the holy beings. Let me say holy beings. Holy beings means in the 6th session Guru Yogas, there's a section you take Bodhisattva vows. And Bodhisattva vows, you're saying pay attention all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas from the 10 direction and so on. It goes and so on, right? So this is how you can take Bodhisattva vows. But reciting that, reciting that by yourself. You just imagine all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in front of you, and you're taking and use or be them as your witness, sort of like, so in front of you, and you just take vows in front of them. That is total fine. This is, how we take Bodhisattva vows. So then the 10 non-virtuous actions, for instance, 10 non-virtuous actions, we do not have a specific kind of ceremony for that. But when you take Bodhisattva vows, that includes taking not to commit and 10 non-virtuous actions as well. Because when you take Bodhisattva vows, that comes with that. So then, if you just intend to take the 10 non-virtuous, refraining from 10 non-virtuous action, you can take Bodhisattva vows. That includes in that. Yeah. So then, what is the difference between someone who has taken vows and someone who doesn't have taken vows, sort of like that, right? But even though they are both refraining from killing, sort of like killing, but if you take a vows, it said that you're accumulating merits. You're kind of generating all this positive energy, sort of like, virtues and stuff like that. But if you don't take a vows, so even though if you don't kill, if you don't do any negative actions, but you don't have that kind of, the benefit.
죽으디 캐나 제수네 네 소마주기 담제 제비인 생거봐 네 소마주베 담제 제비인 선디 잠바 소주 마지발이 케바가레스네 아니 담제 캐니 제비이나 아니 네 소마주에 담제 제비인 생 징거봐
So then one benefit of taking vows, making commitment, is that so you're consciously you're making a commitment, right? So if you make a commitment not to kill any sentient beings, so then when you encounter with that kind of situation, more likely you will refrain from doing that because you have constantly taken that vows initially. So that's why that actually forces you not to do that kind of actions.
Rinpoche, when you are doing mantras, so if you're sitting here and you're doing it, you're visualizing, you're doing all the things that you're supposed to in your mind to train your mind, how is that different, or is it different if while you're driving you are saying mantras but you can't visualize while you're driving because you need to be concentrating on the road, but is there a benefit? I mean, I know there must be a benefit because you're doing something, but is there any difference in the accumulation of merit, or do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes. Okay. Doing formal versus like doing driving, multiple tests. This order. Pena gom jab mikba che gom jab se chura pena nga ta ndi gom jab se chura gom jab se di pena motor rastan ru yu na gom jab endi chidu chambala ya ani pendos ke yorobes ani idela ya pena choda usagre bes pena an di chi chura pena gom jab ma kup chul helo chi mikba che chidu ten chi gom jab deba da mora da ni do ya la ka shinda chi chi nga ta ge gom jab chi deba ina dini le kheba yorobes iwor
Chaba yar chida nga tambati karasure lana mebe chabala changi yari sanjigi chun jimba sayat sanjigi chun jimba sayati sanjigi sunga samudinde dayatila sanjigi chun jimba sayari di chubenana chubalana mebe chubasayaji chubenala diyari sanam padu mebe sagiyari jida ani modata je gomjamna e
modata nga tang chik nyamne ta tumba da da ujo pena khandwe che da usi worda modata dung khandwe che wa deji sudu deji ya goji khandwe che wa ni modata khandwe chidu zambal ya samotang tu mara ya boji
dede
kunil kheba yore wesigo
dede kheba yari jida jene sem khandwe chidu zamba ma dengan de ani kunundu suju ani khandwe di chegorba ani khandwe jeagi kadu mikparabdile kumdi cheyati yungurba mikpate samlatani ne moda dangi khandwe chebina donda de samge makhane mati chujun mandorba tu subdugiyar meshochi samge samlatani tedi samlati yabuji yunguya marba teni top chijun yari jida tu sambeto jinrugurba gewasayati.
So first of all, let me say, while you're driving, if you recite mantra, so that recitation practice becomes, there are different types of offerings. So that kind of practice is called, it becomes unsurpassable offerings. Okay. So when you recite this mantra, that means like you will accumulate merits by doing that. Right? But if you compare the practices between while you're driving and being on like one seat, like meditation, so of course there's a big difference in that. If you sit, so all these practices needs to be done mentally. This is the main point of our practice. Right? So when we do this practice, there's also a process, like the kind of like how to say. Anyways, there's a process, protocol, sort of like process. First, you need to set up your motivation, and you need to do the actual practice. In the actual practice, you need to go through all these details. There are many details. While you're reciting this text, you need to go through all these details. At the end, you need to do the dedication prayer and stuff like that. It has to be complete in that way. So if you are driving, so you may not be able to cover all these elements, thoroughly, sort of like. So of course, there's a lot of distractions. So then when you do sitting kind of practice on like sitting posture, so there will less distractions. So if you're driving, there are a lot of distraction. Even though if you accumulate some merit, but of course there's big differences in that, in that amount.
I have a
Thank you.
question. I was wondering if Rinpoche could explain a little bit more and help explain a little bit more how a practitioner would understand or know or decide when they're ready to take highest yoga tantra initiation.
또 그런 디스도 뭐 답변은 저 왕주도 나우치 추슈가 슝 진데 제대가 되는 여러 와 그런 수다 디 라메기 왕 쉬야디 주주디 레메도 수수 딱지 간다 시고레스 수수 간다 사고레스
달지 산지기 잠바다 저와 신여부터 지 산지들마 기부 중우다 기부링다 두고 지 중고 치에르 봐 도술에 이지냐 버럽지 예수는 쉬초고야리스 디지 지 도술에 이지 야부 게마스는 아니 나 쉬버럽지나 아니 슈마 지 템보 매버럽들이 중수나 니 강에르 봐 더니 출리 이지로 때들이 예수나 아니 지 그 수수기 바자샤베치도 쉬 냠내지 지기는 바자샤위여 봐 어디
So first of all, you need to study Buddha Shakyamuni's teachings. So Buddha Shakyamuni teachings we have divided into three things. For instance, like in this text, it said that they practice that share with lesser and share with the middle and the high advanced practices. Right? You need to have like general knowledge about it, and also you need to develop some sort of faith and belief in that practice and that all this explanation is valid, okay, something that beneficial. You need to believe that, and if you have that, so then you are ready for highest yoga, the initiation or highest yoga practices. Then again, when you take highest yoga initiation, there are many different ways to take highest yoga initiation. Some people they take highest yoga initiation as a part of blessing. Okay, when you have this kind of belief, when you have like a strong kind of feeling or the belief in this system, the Buddha Shakyamuni system, so then you feel like you may not ready for highest yoga practice or tantric practice or anything, just to get a blessing. Some people they just receive initiation. You can do that. Some people are very serious about it, so they wanted to gain something out of their tantric practices. Of course, you're ready for that, so you can take that initiation for regard for that kind of purpose.
How do you know if you're ready for that?
Which one?
The serious.
답변을 하시나 수수 냠래 약보지 제고 삼니 다 냠래디 약보지 제고 삼니 제바 있나 약보지 제고 삼니 질랍치 보지 많이 받지 질랍치도 지고 많이 받지 약보지 제고 삼바이나 디 요가디 가도하고 그랬다
아다티 수수 산지기 숭려야 지 이지 때지 산지기 숭디 로 메버버지 레 삼버지 잉그르바 딘데지 중스네 아니 나라미게 컵스 타는 보여봐 타는 보여도 좀 봐. 되니 타나도수 아니 지 타는다가 간에 산지 domba sanji gu sung de yiji yabu yoba yansane tele yiji jene dotoya chungurba. Di majuna ani ngala megi naldo tano mabu yoba se yasane ani tusule tene di kandre ina samsara chungurba.
So again you need to gain some trust in the Buddha Shakyamuni's teachings. Trust means, that trust has to become from like intellectual kind of thing. Yeah. So saying in this text, he explained how we can become a Buddha and what are the process and what are the practices and stuff like that, right? If you convince that if this is possible, all these teachings is possible, then we add on tantric practice. Tantric practice are method to achieve what we explained into the Sutrayana text. This is one method. So then if you don't convince, if you don't believe that this is possible in enlightenment, sort of enlightenment is possible, all these practices are valid to gain that kind of enlightenment, if you don't have that kind of belief or trust, convince, so then if you begin to practice Tantra, so then it will not help. Because Tantra is just to achieve what he explained into this Sutrayana.
And so if you do have the faith and you decide you want to do it, how do you decide which yidam?
Oh. This is the current penetration. Ngali yiji di yoresa, yiji yowa cheshosa. Ngal meba yowa cheshosa. Ta la kari ga damgo yemedi kandes taji horasa. Idam kari damgo yemedi ta kandes che horasa. Rinpoche say you need to do, we call it more, divination. Divination, kind of like what you psychic reading, something like that.
This Susugi Ichi Kwarajune did it, that Jita Susugi Ichi Karajene, La Kandichi Jene Ichi Jebaina. Tedum came La Koran Chigla Lamgi Juba Yabuch Johnson, like them jet deep ruby ungris, been a sound to be chigina, sound to be Yamne Yabuch Johnson, and Latam J. Gigi that the jokes say to Su Sachi would dig in a troop to be aris. Sachi Gobanian sooner, Latam Jago Gobanian to be aris. The Sunny any Susugi the Sala Chori game every. Idam to Sula Chori game every Susugi Karusuri Chigli Yameva Cheshan Chidan Tigiaris.
So this is totally personal choice. It's a personal choice because if you pick one deity and just relying on one deity, so you can accomplish all the siddhis. There's no any doubt about it. But when we pick deities, you should not think that there's a difference between deities. There's yidams. Okay, yidams. Some yidams are greater than others, and you should not think about that. You should not think about their values, and they're some of them are less valued than the other. You shouldn't think that. All the yidams are same. There's no difference in the yidam. Okay, yidam, same quality. They have same kind of affection. If you do practice, it will give you the same result. But only there are many different types of deities. So that's why you need to. This is totally up to your personal kind of choice. So you need to pick one deity, and you shouldn't feel like if I do this deity, I may not gain other siddhis or something like that. If you achieve one deity, at the same time you accomplish or achieves entire deity's quality, same time.
Well, what if you like more than one? What if
you pick more than one?
Or what if your problem isn't that you think one is better than the other, but you think, oh, that one's really good and that one's good too. It's like Christmas shopping. This is Khensur dila ya di mewa khala ore. Dende lagi borule ya dende yowa dende maresa. Dende yagchik yagata chik duga dende ke samlo dende mares. 방갈 때도 좀 창마라배 창마 야부 연결해도 왔어. 창마 야부 인사 담 가고 싶도 쓰고다.
다지 수수고 두대가 근데 저게 있나 저거디
어래.
지 저게 제부 디니야 지 가부야라 봐. 다지 두 choga to sundum debo. Ane ji la de gum de zamba gum debo ro ji ya ji yarba. De le tai yaris.
So yes, if you have that kind of difficulties picking up like what kind of deities, right? We said now you need to look at your own situation. Some deity has very elaborate practices, and it also requires very subtle kind of visualizations, very difficult. Some practices very easy compared to that, like easier. So then you need to decide which one you want. If you want, you go with the elaborate and the more extensive one, or the simple one.
So what's a simple one?
The lelhaji chena khari orsa. Lelhaji chena khari orsa.
Nganamdu tela sabu janjar
Marda,
bas.
lelhaji lelhaji damna khande ores, khari dam gores go.
Ore. Auto ti yari. Ane jiji ina pauchi basya telaji le yamaris. Adi gum tebra chiris. Sheja mabu yari te laji le yamaris. Ani so lati chile mebe yasa gum tebra chiris. Teni maa jene nenjo ma isya chiri, nenjo ma te laji grab chiris. Te gum tebra chiris.
So then that Rinpoche think about, like, for example, if you look at the solitary Yamtaka, there's only one deity, even though he has many faces and arms, and visualization is very simple. Okay? And also, if you look at the Vajrayogini practice, it's one deity, very simple practice. Okay. That's it? No more question. Your main story. Okay, then we'll end session. Sa shi pege jo she me do tang re rab lin shi nin de gen ba de sang ge shin do me de u wa yi ro gu nam da shin da chö ba ra sho yi da ma guru ran da man da la ya ta ya me
Chanju
Semjo Rinpoche ma ge ba nam ge ju chi ge ba nyam ba me ba kone kondo pe wa ra sho Korwe Shingam de Pendan de Wama Lu Junwe ne Chere Sinwa Tenzin Shabe
Siddhin Patu Tengyurji.
For Rinpoche? Do Rinpoche? Giving blessings of enlightened activities, function disciples, to spread the textual and inner realization teachings of the Buddha, who embodies the 10 powers, show the light of logic and teachings to intelligent minds, pray to the spiritual friend, the revealer of God.
Thank you.